teased an announcement I was going to make that was going to rattle the world of the VOC Nation. It was going to be a worldwide announcement.
I'm ready to be rattled.
Now, here's the thing. So we have the STD podcast with Chaz Warrington, which broadcasts every Monday, right?
Yes.
And we have the VOC Wrestling Nation, which broadcasts on Wednesdays, and we run the podcast on we stream it on the site Thursday and Friday. And then you have the Greg DeMarco show, which runs Saturday and Sunday, going back into Monday. And then the Supla plays in the background, so you have to, there's no autoplay because they're not consistent on sending us new programming.
Right.
So I don't give them a day because I can never rely on them getting me the stuff on the same day. So I have a void on Tuesdays. You know, okay. I feel like the STD podcast does a great job on Monday, and everybody wants to hear what Mosh has to say. But Tuesday, I feel like we need something different. We got to spice up Tuesdays.
Okay.
I don't want to cut into our days because Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we need those days. People need to hear what we have to say.
Absolutely.
You know, we shill so much merchandise on this show. We need every minute of time that we possibly can.
Maybe on Tuesday we should just make it one large infomercial. We'll just go on for 2 hours and just do nothing but plugs.
That's a good idea.
Rapid fire plugs. I mean, you know, that's it. 2 hours. That might be the best way to really spice up Tuesdays.
You think so?
Maybe.
No, you know what? I got a better idea.
All right.
Okay. Here's the thing. I went out searching, Eric, and I searched for shows that I felt could handle, could really carry the banner of VOC Nation. Shows like, see, when I picked the Greg DeMarco show, I did it because Greg wasn't just a podcast that sat and ranted about wrestling in a basement. Not that there's anything wrong with that, because if you have the right talent, that can work. But Greg DeMarco brings stuff to the table. He has guests, he has insight, and he produces the show very, very good. So, anyway, I went out and I found another show that had the quality of the Greg DeMarco show.
I cannot wait to hear what this is.
Now, it's the longest name of a show that I've ever seen in my entire life.
Really?
It's called People Who Know Good Wrestling Online Radio.
All right.
By People Who Know Good Wrestling.
People Who Know Good Wrestling.
So,
okay.
It's the PWKGW podcast.
PWKGW. All right. I got that down.
You got that down?
Yeah, I'm good.
Now, I went and I checked it out, and I did my research, and now they've had Tully Blanchard on very recently, and they have Superfly Jimmy Snuka coming up.
Brother.
Yeah, brother. And so I went and I said, these guys can handle Tuesdays on the VOC Nation.
Okay.
So right now, I'm going to introduce you to the host of the PWKGW podcast.
All right.
His name is Chris. Chris.
Yes, sir.
So, Chris, do you know that you have the longest name for a show in the history of shows?
Hey, we got to thank my buddy here, Sean Miller, for that. He's the one that created the People Who Know Good Wrestling slogan.
Yes. What? Tell me how you came up with that.
Well, I'll tell you, I was sitting here about a year ago. This is Sean, by the way. I was sitting here about a year ago, around September through November, and I decided to create a Facebook page because there's a lot of pro wrestling pages on Facebook that basically just talk about a bunch of crap and don't really know good wrestling. So I decided to come up with an idea to go ahead and create a Facebook page, and it blew up. Woke up one morning, there was 165 requests to join, and so I got to thinking, that blew up, and then I started thinking to myself, well, how about a podcast? People are doing podcasts now; they're getting more popular every day, and I thought, I need to find somebody, the right guy, to start one with. And after a little bit of time, I ended up running into a good buddy of mine, Chris Kleitz, and we got in front of each other at an Elite Pro Wrestling Alliance show. And started talking about it, and a couple weeks later, we brought the idea to fruition, and it's been good ever since.
Very good. And now you've had some guests on. You have Carrie Silken coming up, or you had Carrie Silken on recently, right?
Yes, sir. We had him on the 8th of August.
The 8th, and then Tully Blanchard last week, and you got Jimmy Snuka coming up.
That's correct. We'll have him on September the 19th. He'll be live with John Chapman, which is the author of his biography coming out.
Okay, very, very good. So Jimmy Snuka, now tell me the process behind getting your guests. I know that I've heard from a lot of the podcasters out there. See, we get very lucky because we have a major market radio station behind us, and it's very, very easy for us to get guests a lot of the time. So tell me how you guys, as a podcast, when there's hundreds of podcasts out there, it seems like a lot of, every wrestling fan wants to have their own show. So tell me how you guys go about getting guests, and how are you successful when so many of the other guys aren't?
Well, we hate to reveal any secrets. We'll just say we have some contacts in the pro wrestling. We just have some contacts. We don't want to give any secrets out. But I will say these guests are great with us. We've talked to them for a while before we get them on the show, and they're ecstatic after they get off the show, and they're ready to set up another date. But yeah, like you said, anybody can start up a show, and it's tough. It really is to be, between a good show and a bad show. It really depends on who you have on, and I think that's what puts us over the top, because of the people that we've had on aren't the regular people you see on, these regular, people just doing the shows.
Right.
So, I think that's what puts us over the top. And of course, we do on Sundays. We do our indie local rewind. And, of course, it's a stage for our local independent wrestlers, who are trying to make their way through the business. And, again, just good exposure for these young guys trying to make their way up through.
All right, so every Tuesday on VOCNation.com, you'll hear the stream for both shows that they do. So you're going to hear the back-to-back episodes of not only their wrestling talk show, but their indie recap show, and that's coming up every Tuesday, starting this coming Tuesday, Eric, on VOCNation.com.
Sounds good. It's good to let me welcome them aboard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the family, Chris and Sean.
Thank you guys very much. Thank you.
And we're happy to have the programming, and we'll look forward to hearing the first episode this coming Tuesday.
That's correct. That's correct. We'll have the Tully Blanchard sent over to you, and we'll have some surprises in there for you to keep that Tuesday up to par with the VOC Nation.
Well, that'll be great. Worldwide. You're now worldwide.
That's right. I've been waiting to say that all day, Bruce. Worldwide.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. And we're looking forward to Tuesday.
Yes. Thank you, sir, very much. We'll see you then.
All right. 1360 WNJC. This is the VOC Wrestling Nation. And I got to clear the line again. Let's go to somebody that calls themselves Pool Shark. You're in the